Harley-Davidson motorcycles, Indian motorcycles, and alcohol. Let's talk about that. Let's get cracking. Today's video is a rant directed at Harley-Davidson and Indian motorcycles, and what it centers around is alcohol. In case you live under a rock, everybody has seen the debacle with Dylan Mulvaney and Bud Light, and I believe Bud Light has lost $6 billion as a result of that ad campaign, so they're in crisis mode. So Anheuser-Busch, which by the way is Belgium-owned, they sold out and bought out the American company, chose to make some very unwise decisions regarding their advertising campaign. There were several other large major corporations that are advertising in this manner as well. Jack Daniels, the bourbon maker in Tennessee, host a drag queen summer. Tractor Farm Supply had drag queen put on a show, and there were children involved, and there was some very foul adult-oriented language used at that event in front of children. So people are in an uproar right now in a big way. So Americans, I can't speak for other countries, are getting tired of this, so they're boycotting these companies in a big way. Bud Light is the tip of the iceberg, and it's starting to roll downhill. This is snowballing, ladies and gentlemen. What do I mean by that is the snowball starts out small. As it's rolling downhill, it's starting to gain momentum, and the ball gets bigger and bigger as it's rolling downhill. I can list you a dozen companies that have made critical errors on their advertising campaign. Hershey Chocolates, the chocolate maker, had a trans for National Women's Day, and they've been getting boycotted. I want to make something clear. I'm not hating on all these different cultures and lifestyles. That's none of my business. This falls under the category of mind your own business. I don't want to know who these people are dressed up as or who they're sleeping with. You don't want to know what I'm sleeping with or what I dress up. So let's just keep it all private and treat each other like human beings. That would be a great place to start. Why our motorcycle manufacturers are getting involved in this mess, I have no clue. So Budweiser just released a limited edition beer with partnership of Anheuser-Busch, and it has a kind of a drawing of a Harley on the front or a sketch of it, and it's celebrating centuries of American craftsmanship. The timing could not be any worse on the coattails of this Bud Light mess that has happened in the advertising industry. And now Harley-Davidson is going to be pushing Anheuser-Busch. They have a long history with Anheuser-Busch, but I believe their previous Bar and Shield beers were brewed under Miller. I could be wrong. I don't know the story on that, but they chose Budweiser for whatever reason this year. In my opinion, based on what the backlash of what happened with Bud Light, they should have canned the entire project with the beer cans, I don't care what it costs, and gone with a different beer maker if you have to advertise with beer with your motorcycle brand. I'll get into that in a minute on my rant here. Now, Indian Motorcycle has partnered with Jack Daniels, and Jack Daniels and Indian have had a long-term relationship, I think dating back to 2016, where each year they produce a limited edition Old No. 7 Jack Daniels bourbon whiskey version of their motorcycles. This year's edition is the Jack Daniels limited edition Chief Bobber Dark Horse. That's a mouthful. Why are motorcycle manufacturers getting together with alcohol manufacturers and co-branding? Why? I'm sure they did their surveys, and everyone filled out the survey, said, yeah, I drink bourbon, or I drink Bud Light, or whatever. And that's why they chose to do it. Make no mistake, the motorcycle manufacturers are not your friend. They are here to take your money. And if they feel they can sell more motorcycles, even if it is not on a moral journey to make that happen, they are doing it. It is my belief that Harley and Indian's moral compass is way off right now. Indian at least took the initiative to put a decal on their bikes. I don't know about previous years, but on this year's, they have a decal that says, drive responsibly. Bottles and throttles don't mix. Well, good for you, Indian. Approximately 43% of all fatal motorcycle accidents involve alcohol. Think about that. 43%, ladies and gentlemen. What's next? The CBT, the OxyContin edition? Let's do a crack pipe edition of a bike because everybody's using it and enough of them are riding Harley-Davidsons or Indians. Let's put out an ad campaign for the crack pipe Indian or the crack pipe Street Glide. Be awesome. Harley-Davidson and Indian need to fire their advertising team, in my opinion. You are going the wrong direction. The number one item that kills the most motorcyclists is the very customer you're selling your bikes to. Why would you do that? They need a moral compass recalibration, in my opinion. Billions of dollars are spent on these ad campaigns with Jack Daniels and their very drag queen summer that they're putting their money into with Bud Light and the 𝕠𝕒𝕒𝕚 mess. Billions are being spent in advertising with these companies. And two of my favorite motorcycle manufacturers are climbing into bed. Make no mistake, Harley made this decision to go with Budweiser before this Bud Light mess unveiled. So the timing could not be worse for Harley-Davidson. They still should have canned the whole program. Do something good with that money. How about you take those millions and millions of dollars that you're spending and come up with a program to sell the same Harleys that I buy for $5,000 less to any combat veteran who I believe is our national treasure in America. They gave it all for this country. Instead, you put the money into an alcohol brand that's killing the motorcyclists. I feel like a dinosaur. I don't belong in this world anymore. I seem to have a different set of morals. My name is Eric. You're watching Kraken's Garage. Peace.